The girls, how you doing? Let's do another pick card. Today is going to be what are they afraid of. Let's keep an open mind. It can be quite interesting and obviously triggering. Okay, so triggering. So let's keep an open mind. Let's have two piles. Let's develop. I hope you're well. I hope 2022 is starting like whoo, rock and roll. Let's do this. 1, 2, 1, 2. So pile number 1, what are they afraid of? Sur sword, bam, 10 of Pentacles, the Fool, wow, okay, so they, it's possible that they are in a third party situation, and third party doesn't have to be another person. It can be that they are very focused on something else, but not you, and therefore, you know, they kind of suffering from it, but they know they have to make a choice between two. There is a necessity to stop the pain, the ache, the maybe the wording that was very harsh, because they can't deny this. The reason why they can't deny is because they have a 10 of Pentacles, and that is you two recognizing each other, recognizing the potential of you two in a very practical way. What can you do, you know, together? And you can build an empire, you can build a family or rebuild a family or whatever, or even a legacy, something even bigger than you two together, right? So it's very practical, but it's an idea of an achievement. But maybe they're afraid of what you two together represent. What they're afraid of is to make that transition. They're afraid of being hurt. They're afraid of hurting people. They're afraid of making a decision, because once they go for that, it's going to be quite intense. The thing is, in my opinion, you only meet what you can handle in life, even though sometimes it's a bit harsh. At the end of the day, you manage. And so for me, you recognize each other, and then there's an idea of no communication, because you learn how to become the best version of yourself, and you can only do that if you're not together. But then eventually you come back together when you're ready, and that's when boom bada boom, we have that practical success. Okay, so what they're afraid of is to taking the leap of faith, because it's a transition that is scary, and all transitions are very chaotic inevitably. You know, you are having a new routine, you're changing everything. It's obviously scary, but as I say, if something presents, it's because you can handle it. Okay, so that's my theory in life. No matter which mess I find myself into, you always find a way out. Yeah, they have to choose you. I mean, they do whatever they want, but when I mean, yes, but what I feel is they're going to choose you, and they're going to choose love. And of course, they're afraid of making that massive step forward, because they're leaving a bunch of people. They're leaving maybe a family. They're leaving maybe a country. They're leaving a job. They're leaving something or somebody in order to be with you. So of course, it's a huge step forward, and it's very scary, obviously. Yeah, choice between two, of course, but they're also knowing that you're there as an Empress position. That the Two of Wands quite often is someone who waits patiently. And you've been very patient. You never put pressure on that person, because it's not your decision. They're going to make the decision themselves. And there will be no interest for you to push. For me, if it doesn't come organically and naturally, that is, you know, something you might pay for later on. So there's no point doing this, and I keep saying that to people when they're getting impatient. Doesn't matter trying to push. That decision is a personal one, and there's no point threatening anybody or pushing for anything. Those things have to come naturally. Yeah, choice between two, you bet. And also realizing that you are the soulmates, and that is fascinating. Yeah, so that's it. Confirmation. They're afraid of making that huge step forward, because it's a one-way ticket. They're leaving the yuckiness and going towards peace and serenity. It's a one-way ticket for sure, and the mind is agreeing with the heart as the result is in alignment, and it works. But that is something that is durable. It's something that is not going to be changing in 2 weeks' time or 2 months' time. It's a one-way ticket. So for me, that is important. That is when that person, number 6 as well, is, you know, all about love, but is the mind of that person who really make that decision. And in that sense, beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So that was pile number 1, fascinating. Pile number 2, what they're afraid of. King of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Judgment. A couple of things here. I would say that the King of Wands normally is someone who's quite superficial, is, male, female, doesn't matter, is someone who is Mr. or Mrs. Popular, everybody knows that person and that person knows everyone, but at the end of the day, nobody really knows that person because it's someone who never show their true color. Not because they're lying, it's because they don't allow anybody in. So they're very superficial player, social animal, all of this. But someone as well who's very based in the ego. So what they're afraid of is purging all of that and go to the skeleton of who they are. And that means that they're going to have to go in and get in touch with their truth. They may have lost sight of their feeling, their emotion, because they make sure they don't feel anything. They don't stay anywhere long enough to actually feel anything. So they just are, woo, social butterfly. Woo, that's a new one. But because it's a way to protect themselves, obviously. But they have to obviously change their way because they feel something and they know that you might not go for the superficial person. Because if, for example, the King of Wands meet the Queen of Wands, again, male, female, all of those genders, we don't get into genders here, then they become the King of Cups. It's all about the feelings. So inevitably, you're meant to be. This is a question of destiny here, inevitably, but they have to go to the core of who they are, to the skeleton, to the essence of who they are, because you're very real. And therefore, if they want to connect with you, they need to obviously show who they are. And here we have it. They're afraid of starting something and something durable. It's very much Pentacle. It's about long term. It's about maybe as well a business idea, but you have to plant seeds, nurture them, and grow them. You cannot just like, oh yeah, that is a bit of business and arrivederci, right? No, it's long term. So there are some term and condition to set up this either business or connection between you two. It has to be real. And for them, being real and showing the real feelings is scary, right? Yeah, so they procrastinate about it, of course, because hey, me as well. And the thing is too much for them to handle, is that you are out of their league, or what you're asking from them is just, unbelievably complicated. And they don't really know. They don't really know how to approach the situation. They don't really know as well if they're able to handle, because normally they would stay focusing on this, they wouldn't go for something so powerful. So they prefer to go with many people, but not one person, because a face-to-face is like, oh my goodness, too much emotion, too much, I can't take it, okay? However, they have the nostalgia of love. They're very romantic somehow. And that's probably why they're afraid of going there, because they know when they're going to fall fully, okay? But they got to do the right thing. And also I think it's the right thing toward themselves. They have to be fair to themselves. They have to be truthful to themselves. And at the result, they will be truthful to you. But they have to find a balance as well within themselves, because being superficial and fluffing around in some ways doesn't feed them, doesn't fulfill them. So they know there is something missing, but they were afraid to go for it. They can see you covering your heart, and they might just do the same, obviously, because they will be the King of Cups. Remember, when the King of Wands meet the Queen of Wands, become the King of Cups. So King of Cups and Queen of Cups, you perfect match. So you both kind of like, protecting the heart a little bit, because you can sense the potential. But if they don't show their true self, then you will just, not go there, because why would you open your heart and be hurt? That's crazy. But they're gonna come towards you with a lot of passion, and obviously that's gonna be enough for you to say, okay, they're ready. And that for me is crucial. Yeah, they've been spending a lot of time watching you from afar, wishing to be with you, but playing safe, not changing anything. But you're gonna receive the fruit of your labor, because you also show them and prove to them that you kept an open heart no matter what you've been through in life. And that, because you're protecting your heart, doesn't mean you don't feel anything, doesn't mean you don't hurt like everybody else. So you are an example to, how to be real, how to be truthful, showing the heart fully, giving a chance, at least one chance to people, and at the same time going through life, peacefully. So that is an inspiration for them. Wow, beautiful. That is very, very powerful here. I'm loving it. On this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.